Hello, my bomb blowers and model masters, and today I am here with another Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes modded model tutorial, and today I am here with the model Meld. Meld is based off of the Trivia Murder Party minigame of the same name, where the goal of the game is not to pick the same thing as another player. Let's go ahead and get started. This model will require absolutely no edge work, so as soon as we get our bomb, we can get started. So, a MindMeld module will have 5 Xener cards on it, as well as a red button. Currently, the module is in a mode where you are free to interact with it. If I press any button in the state, then the module will not submit what I'm trying to pick. If I press the red button, the button will turn green, and it will take whichever Xener card I pick at this point as a submission. You can exit the submission mode by pressing the red button again, and then it turns back to red and gives you a new set of Xener cards. The 5 Xener cards will always be the same symbols. They are circles, waves, stars, squares, and crosses. But as you may notice, the order of the cards is not consistent from module to module. So the arrangement of the Xener cards is going to correspond to a category, using specifically the first and the last Xener cards. So the first is going to be the column, and the second is going to be the row. And this gives you the category. So for us, it's Ultra Cube Directions. Don't worry, you're not going to need to know any of these by heart, because this handy-dandy table shows what each possible thing in each category is. Additionally, the 5 options for each category correspond to the 5 Xener cards. From left to right, it's in alphabetical order. So the first corresponds to circle. The second is cross. Well, it's not in alphabetical order because waves is third. Then it's square, and then it's star. So we're going to note down the order in which the cards appear on the module, because once we click them, they're not going to be visible anymore. So we have the circle, the waves, the star, the square, and the cross. Now when we click any of the Xener cards, this happens. It displays 4 out of the possible 8 players here. We're going to note down the players present on the module, and we're going to note them down in reading order. Who am I missing? I'm missing this dude. Okay. So we have the hat guy, the doctor, the alien, and the heart. Now, the first player has a choice to pick between any 5 cards. Once they pick any of the 5 cards, so let's say they pick the ping card, for example, that means the next player who's going to choose, so the doctor, is only going to have a choice between the remaining 4 cards. Then the next player who chooses will only have a choice between the remaining 3, and then the last player will only have a choice between the remaining 2. This will always result in 1 card being unpicked. The players will always choose their cards in a certain order. All 4 of the players will choose one of these 4 sorting methods. Either alphabetical order, so for the Ultra Cube Directions, that would be going from bottom to front to left to ping to zig. Given order in the category section is just from left to right in the table, so this is going from front, bottom, left, zig, and ping. Length, so in ascending order of length, will be zig, left, ping, front, and bottom. Now, even though left and ping both have 4 letters, left is going to get picked first. In the case of any tie between any 2 categories, the player picking will prioritize the one that comes first in alphabetical order. Left comes before ping, so the player will choose left. And finally, the number of vowels, where Y is not considered a vowel. So this has 1, this has 2, 1, 1, 1. So first they're going to choose in alphabetical order of the choices with only 1 vowel, so front, then left, then ping, then zig. And then it's going to choose the one with the most vowels, which is bottom. Now, even though I showed you that the ascending order in which all of these are being picked, There's a possibility that the players will pick in descending order. So instead of alphabetical order being bottom, front, left, ping, zig, then the person doing alphabetical will instead prioritize zig, then ping, then left, then front, then bottom. Now, it is our job to determine which sorting methods these guys are using. And using the sorting method that they're using, we can deduce which 4 cards they're going to pick. And we're going to be able to deduce which of the 5 cards is going to be unpicked in each generation. So let's go ahead and figure out any information that we can based on this first generation of cards. First, we're going to look at which one the hat guy chose. The hat guy chose the bottom middle card, which is the cross, which corresponds to this. Now, if hat guy is going in alphabetical order, then he picked the first one in alphabetical order. So this is an option, alphabetical order from A to Z. Hat guy could not have chosen the given order in the category section, because if he was going from left to right, he would have picked the circle option, and if he was going from right to left, then he would have picked the star option. Meaning there is no possible way that hat guy can be doing given order in category section. So we're not going to note this as a possible option. In terms of length, hat guy picked the option with the most letters, so it is a possibility that he is sorting in length, from most to least letters. Even though some of the options may have spaces, we are only counting the number of letters. So the fact that Staten Island has 12 letters and 1 space, we're only going to use the 12 letters when determining length. I mean, not like any of the other options come close to 12 letters in length, but, you know. Anyway, finally, we get number of vowels. So, this is also an option, from most to least, because the hat guy picked the option with the most vowels, as opposed to any of the options with the least number of vowels. Now, if he had picked either left, zig, or ping, then we would have known that there is no way that he could be doing the vowel sorting method. Why? Because if he was going to pick the option with the least amount of vowels, he's going to pick the one with only 1 vowel. But there are 4 options with exactly 1 vowel. So whenever you have multiple options with the same number of either letters when it comes to length, or vowels when it comes to, well, vowels, it's always going to pick the first in alphabetical order, regardless of how else it's sorting. So we have these 3 possibilities as the sorting methods that the hat guy is using. Now we're going to look at what the doctor chose. So the doctor had a choice between any of front, left, zig, or ping, circle, wave, square, or star. Cross was already picked by hat guy, so the doctor could not have chosen cross. So he chose the top right option, which is star, which is the rightmost. Now let's consider our options. In terms of alphabetical order, if he was going from A to Z, then he would have picked the first one in alphabetical order, which would have been front. And if he was going in reverse alphabetical order, he would have chosen the last one that comes in alphabetical order, which is zig. Meaning there is no way that the doctor is sorting in alphabetical order. Given order in category section. He picked the rightmost available column, so this is a possible option for the doctor. Given order in the section, going from right to left. Length. Now, this is not a possible option. If he were going for the shortest option to the longest option, he would have picked zig, because that is the only 3-letter option in our list of options. And that definitely has the least number of letters. Additionally, if he was going from the most letters to the fewest letters, he would have picked front. So there is no way that the doctor is going in length order. And in terms of number of vowels, I already addressed this before. If he was going in least to most vowels, he would have chosen front. And if he was going from least to most vowels, he also would have chosen front. Since all 4 of the remaining options have the same number of vowels, front, left, zig, and ping, he's going to choose the one that comes first in alphabetical order, regardless of if he's ascending or descending. But since he did not pick front, there is no way that he is sorting by number of vowels, meaning the doctor is definitely using the order in the category going from right to left. So let's see what information we can get from the alien's choice. The alien chose the bottom left option, which is the square. Now we know the doctor is sorting by order in the category section, which means that neither the hat guy, if he still had it as an option, the alien, or the heart can be sorting by order. So when it comes to considering the sorting methods, we're just going to ignore order in the category section because we know that the doctor has chosen this category. So let's consider alphabetical order. The alien picked the last in alphabetical order, so it is possible that he is sorting in reverse alphabetical order. When it comes to length, he chose the one with the least number of characters, so this is a possibility. He is choosing from least to most letters. And when it comes to vowels, this is not a choice because he would have picked front, as explained several times before at this point. And now we're going to look at the heart, which chose the circle option. In alphabetical order, the heart chose the first that comes in alphabetical order, so this is an option. The heart could not have picked between any of the cross, square, or star options. He could have only chosen front or left. When it comes to length, the heart chose the one with the highest number of letters, so length is an option from most to least. And then when it comes to the number of vowels, we know that the heart is possible to choose this option, but we don't know the order in which he chose the option, because regardless of the order that the heart is choosing, front would have been picked first. Out of the remaining options, they both have one vowel, and front comes first alphabetically. Okay, so we have gotten all of the information that we can from this generation of cards. Now we're going to generate a new set of cards. We're going to write down the order: wave, square, star, circle, and cross. Take the first as the column and the last as the row, and we're going to get Zener cards. Now the Zener cards are going to correspond to the section headers, so we don't even have to go to the top to check out what these are under. So that's good for us. So let's flip the cards over, and let's see if we can deduce any more information from these cards. So Hat Guy chose the bottom left option, which is circle. This is the first in alphabetical order, so alphabetical order is still an option. This is the lengthiest option. Even though circle and square have the same number of letters and they are tied for the most letters in an option, circle comes before square, so Hat Guy would have chosen circle. And when it comes to most to least vowels, this is not possible, because the option with the most vowels was square, with 3 vowels. Circle has 2 vowels, meaning that there is no possible way that Hat Guy can be sorting by vowels. Which means that we know that the heart is sorting by vowels, as the heart is the only person who still has sorting by vowels as a possible sorting option. We're going to have to deduce whether they're ascending or descending, but we'll get to that later. We know that the doctor is going in order from right to left. So, without even looking at the cards, I'm going to predict that the doctor chose the star. Let's see if I'm right. The doctor chose the top right option, which is the star, which supports our theory that the doctor is sorting from right to left in the order. Now, let's look at the alien, because he has 2 sorting options left. He chose the waves. When it comes to alphabetical, from last alphabetically to first alphabetically, this fits the category because waves is the last alphabetically. And when it comes to length, least to most, this is not a possible option. Cross and waves are tied for the least number of letters of the remaining options. However, cross comes before waves alphabetically. So, if he was sorting by length, he would have chosen cross. Meaning this is no longer an option for the alien, meaning we know that the alien is sorting in reverse alphabetical order. And since we know that the alien is sorting in alphabetical order, Hat Guy cannot be sorting in alphabetical order, meaning Hat Guy is sorting in length from longest to shortest. And then finally, we are going to determine which way the heart is sorting. Now, since both of the options have different number of vowels, the cross only has 1 and the square has 3, we can deduce for sure which way the heart is sorting. So heart picked the top middle option, which is the square, which means that the heart is sorting by most to least vowels. So now that we have all 4 of the players' sorting information, we can go into submission mode. We're going to do the same thing that we did before. First is star, and the last is square, which means we're going to use the category of angles. So now we're going to determine which cards that these 4 people picked, and we are going to pick the one card that was not picked by any of them. So Hat Guy chooses the longest length option. Acute has 5 letters, 1, 2, 3, 6 letters, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 letters, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 letters. So the square has the most letters out of any of the options, so we know Hat Guy is going to pick the square, which means we're not going to pick the square. The doctor is going to choose the rightmost column that is not picked yet, which is the star, so we're not going to pick the star. The alien is going to choose the last option alphabetically of the remaining options, which is right. And then the heart is going to pick the option with the most vowels out of the options left. Acute has 3 vowels. Obtuse also has 3 vowels. Since there is a tie, the heart is going to pick the first alphabetically, which is acute, which means that waves is the only option that is not picked yet. So we are going to choose waves.
Nobody guessed that? Oh man.
And that is going to solve the module. There is also a cheese strategy to this. So, you don't actually have to do all of the work to solve the module. We can take a couple of sorting methods and keep re-rolling the submit button until we get a sorting method of which we know which ones the players are choosing. So when it comes to wave and circle, this is the rock, paper, scissors moves. So out of wave, square, cross, star, and circle, the only unpicked option is the wave. So if we get rock, paper, scissors, or spot moves in the submission stage, we're going to pick waves. And from here, you can actually start re-rolling the submission phase until you get wave first and circle last. The module will not punish you for re-rolling submission, so you can do this however many times you like. So if we keep re-rolling until waves comes first and circle comes last, we know the unpicked option is going to be waves. Close, but no cigar. Now, even though this option is guaranteed to solve the module, it may take a while for you to roll a specific sorting method that you know the answer to. We have just so happened to roll the sorting method. Wave first and circle last. Was wave unchosen? I don't think wave was the unchosen option. I think it might have been square. I wrote down waves, so I'm going to pick waves, but there's a chance it can strike because I might have just noted down the wrong option that was unpicked. So we're going to choose waves, and it may strike.
Nobody guessed that? Oh,
so that was the option that was unpicked. And as you saw, the module solved because we had that sorting method previously. Please excuse the dog. Anyway, we knew that waves was the correct option because that was the only option that was left unpicked the first time we had this specific arrangement of options. This is a viable strategy, but it is lame. I do not suggest using lame methods to solve the module. I suggest you use the actual way to solve the module, as opposed to that previously described lame method. So, thank you for watching this tutorial, please don't be lame, and have a nice day.